So in our last lesson, we talked about a charity event, and we discussed the idea of raising money for charity. Of course, when we say raising money for charity, this is different from donations. It's not the same thing, because when you raise money for charity, it means you have an event, and this event, maybe it's a concert, maybe it's some kind of competition, quiz night. It could be anything interesting. So this way you can get people to buy your tickets to join your event or your party or your dinner or your speech or anything. So what they do is they buy the tickets to attend this event. And of course, the money then goes to charity. This is the idea of raising money. So we talked about this. And we also talked about the event that these four people, Natalia, Carol, Liam, and David, so they held an event, they agreed on what to do, and they had a quiz night, and they divided the tasks. Each one did something different. We talked about that. And we also learned how to make offers, suggestions, and requests. And we talked about the difference between an offer and a suggestion. Who can tell me what is the difference between an offer and a suggestion? Or is it the same thing? Or is it different? Who can tell me?
There is different. Offers by one person and the planet to do.
That's right. You're right.
Yes, a suggestion for a group of people or friends or.
That's actually right. Exactly right. Usually
try to doing, not really doing it.
Yes, I think that's exactly the right difference. Yeah, a suggestion, the person is giving the idea to his group. He doesn't want to do it, but he wants to see if they like it, if anyone else wants to do it. This is a suggestion, to make a suggestion. Making an offer, you're going to do it yourself. You're just saying, maybe you're asking for permission. Shall I make the posters? Shall I pick him up? Can I give you a hand? Do you need anything? These kind of phrases are offers. You're offering your own time and your own help. So it's an offer. And of course, a request is the opposite. A request, you're asking for something. You want something. And we talked about the difference between can, will, can you, could you, will you. They're the same meaning. All of them are okay. But maybe could you is the softest or the politest. The most polite one is could you. Then we have can you, and will you. Will you, maybe if you're a boss and you have employees, you can say will you. If a mother to her children, she can say will you. But usually you can't say it to someone you don't know. It's a bit strong, will you. So these are forms of requests. We talked about them. We also did these two examples between Natalia and David. And then we have Liam and Jason. We finished this. We talked about the sound G, soft G, hard G. So the soft G usually is followed by Y or E. So in English, if you find a G and it's followed by a Y, or followed by an E, there's a big chance it's pronounced J. Gym, strange, energy, generally. So all of these are J because you have a Y or an E after the G. In other examples, we just say G. Game, give, good, argue, grandfather, August, guitarist, hungry. This is the idea. And the second group, we talked about the ending ij. It's written A-G-E, but you pronounce it ij. Message, luggage, language, village, sausage, manage. So it's an ij sound. So we talked about this. All right, so let's talk about today's topic. So in today's topic, we want to talk about teenagers, okay? And we want to talk about some character adjectives. So if you take a look and check this this box, you can see all of these adjectives are adjectives which we can use for personality, for character. So we use them to describe people's personality, people's character. So this is what they're used for. So let's take a look at these. So I'm just going to read them for you. And if any of them are new, just tell me, okay, this is new, I don't know it, I don't know what it means, and we can talk more about it. So let me just read them for you. So we have aggressive, ambitious, bright, confident, considerate, easygoing, helpful, honest, mature, moody, organized, patient, polite, reliable, rude, selfish, sensible, talented, and tidy. So from this box, which of them are new? Which of them are new to you? Or do you know all of them?
The first one and the second and the third.
Okay, so the first, second, and third, let's put a line so we can do them together. First, second, and third. Any other ones?
Number 5.
Considerate, okay. What else? Do you know what sensible means? Sensible?
No.
Okay. What about reliable? Is it new? Maybe it's new. Reliable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe, let me check another one. Moody? Is it new? Moody?
Yes.
Okay.
Tidy.
Tidy. Let's put a line under tidy. Mature? Is it new? Mature?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have selfish. Is it new? Selfish? Or not new?
Not new.
Not new. Easygoing. If we say, for example, Michael is an easygoing man. What do you think we mean by easygoing? What do you think? Can you make a guess? Let's see, maybe, where's Selma, what do you think? If we say easygoing, what do you think we mean? If you're not sure, just tell me, do you think it's a positive adjective? Is it a positive adjective or is it a negative?
Positive.
You're right. It's a positive adjective. So it's a good thing to be easygoing. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
All right, you're right. Positive. What about moody? Do you think it's a positive or a negative adjective? Moody.
Negative. مزاجي.
Negative.
Okay, so it's a negative. It's a negative adjective. What about sensible? You can tell me. Sensible is also negative?
Yes.
Are you thinking of sensitive or maybe sensible? Because we have two words. We have sensitive.
Yeah, sensitive. Yes, I mean sensitive.
This one is sensible. It's a bit different, I think. Okay, but what about tidy? Who thinks is it positive? Is it negative? What do you think it is? Who can make a guess? No guesses? Okay. What about aggressive? Who can make it? Who can? It's negative.
Negative.
Negative, okay. Ambitious? What about ambitious?
positive طموح.
positive,
All right, so ambitious is positive. Bright,
positive,
correct. It's positive. What about considerate? So if we say someone is considerate, what do you think? Is it a positive or a negative thing if someone is considerate?
I think positive,
You're right. It's actually positive. What about mature? If we say Ahmed is a mature boy, for example, what do you think it means, mature? Who can make a guess?
ناضج.
Yes, but here we don't mean it for the body. We mean it for the mind. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
So is it positive if we use it for the mind?
Positive.
What do you
Yeah.
think? Yeah,
positive,
that's correct. You're right. It's positive. What about reliable? If we say, for example, Usama is a reliable cousin. He's a reliable person. Is this a positive thing or a negative thing?
positive,
That's correct. It's actually a positive thing. Being reliable is positive. Tidy, is it a good thing? It's also positive. Correct. Sensible. If we say he's a very sensible person, is this positive or
yeah,
negative?
positive,
That's correct. Okay, so I'm going to show you what these words mean in the summary في الموجز خلينا نفهمهم بالضبط. So let's go there and let's take a look. So this is 48. Okay, so let's clear this. 48. No. Okay. So let's take a look here. Now, okay, Rashid, can you read some of these definitions for us? And then maybe someone else can translate them so we can know them in Arabic. So can you start here, please? Can you tell us what this means?
Aggressive people behave in an angry or
Violent.
violent way to other people.
Correct. What do you think this means in Arabic? If someone is angry or violent in the way they act or in the way they talk, do you think maybe it's the opposite of kind?
Yeah,
Yes. So in Arabic, what is it? What do you think? If someone is always angry and violent, let me give you an example. Do you see fighters when they fight? Do you think they are kind?
Yes.
Do you think they're kind, or do you think they're aggressive when they're fighting?
aggressive.
Correct. You have to be aggressive to be a good fighter, right? Because if you're cute and you're nice, you won't be a good fighter, right? So aggressive, what do you think it means in بالعربي؟ أول كلمة تخطر في بالك. What is it? What do you think?
متأهب.
عصبي أو عنيف.
عدواني،
عدواني، عنيف. متأهب نمشي حالة. هم عادة العدوانيين متأهبين للعنف هم ممكن تمشي حالها، لكن عدواني وعنيف أكثر. دائما يستعملوا في aggressive لشخصيته عصبي، عدواني، عنيف. This is the meaning of aggressive. All right, so we have ambitious. Okay, can you read ambitious, Rash? Tell us what you think it means from the definition here.
People want to be very
Successful.
successful or powerful.
So what's this in Arabic? Ambitious. Do you know Bill Gates, the Microsoft manager, the Microsoft director?
Yeah.
And do you know also Elon Musk? Do you know Elon Musk, the president of Tesla? Do you know him? No, you don't know him?
No, I know him.
Ah, you know him. Okay, good. We can say that Elon Musk is an example of an ambitious man, a very ambitious man, because every day or each day he wants to be better. He has a lot of goals, right? So in Arabic, what is this? If someone wants to be very successful or wants to be powerful or wants to achieve a lot of things, what do we use?
طموح.
Yes, correct. That's right. طموح. Then we have bright. Let's see. What do you think, Selma, here? Can you read bright for us? Tell us what you think it means, bright.
Okay. People are intelligent.
Intelligent.
And can learn things quickly.
Correct. So if you can learn things quickly and you are intelligent, especially if it's in a class, for example, or if you're learning something, or if you're good at school, we say this student is bright, right?
Yeah.
So believe me, كيف نقوله bright? How do we say it in Arabic?
ذكي.
ذكي صح، بس في كلمة ثانية غير ذكي. لو حد كويس في القراية في الفصل كيف نقوله في كلمة ثانية؟
صابر.
أيوة، شنو هي؟
صابر.
بالضبط صح، هي هذه شاطر أكثر. برايت أقرب لشاطر، هي الذكاء في الفصل يعني يقصدوا، أو الذكاء اللي في التعليم يعني يقولوا شاطر. Yes. This is the meaning of bright. لأن الذكاء العادي we can say intelligent,
smart
or smart, both. عندنا intelligent وعندنا smart. هذا اللي هو الذكاء العام، smart, intelligent. بس عادة الذكاء اللي له علاقة بالفصول أو الدراسة يستعملوا مرات المدرسين يحبوا يستعملوا في كلمة bright. They say this student, Ahmed, is a very bright student. He learns quickly. He gets good marks on good grades on his exams. And this is the idea. Considerate. So considerate, it says here, people are very kind and helpful. What do you think this means, Safia, if we say someone is considerate? How would you explain a considerate person? And what's the opposite?
Considerate people are very kind and helpful. Maybe cooperative mean between.
Yes, usually considerate people are cooperative because they're helpful.
Yes.
But can you think of another word in English which has the same meaning as considerate? If you want to describe someone as considerate, maybe
helpful.
Helpful is correct. Also, considerate, we can say someone who cares about other people. If you care about other people, you are considerate. But if you ignore other people, you don't want to help, you don't want to do anything for anybody, this is inconsiderate. Selfish. Actually, selfish is the opposite of considerate. If you think of it, it's the opposite. Because a selfish person only cares about himself, right? They don't care about anyone else. But a considerate person usually cares about other people and wants to help, wants to be kind, and this is the idea. All right, so easygoing. Can you read easygoing for us, Safi? What do you think it means? If we say
people are very relaxed and don't worry about things.
Correct. So can you tell me, بالليبي, what's considerate and what's easygoing if we want to translate them? What do you think they mean?
considerate متعاون أو شنو يقولوا لها هي
مش عارف، مش في كلمة تانية بالعربي.
easy going ضربها easy
واخدها easy.
واخدها easy أيوة.
Correct, yeah. Easygoing, relaxed, someone who doesn't worry and someone who doesn't care. But considerate, I think there's another word. في كلمة تانية بالليبي مش رايحة مني كيف نقولها. Considerate maybe I can't think of it. متعاون ماشي حالها، لكن في مازال أحسن. مهتم أو مرات نقولوا في ود ناس وخلاص. ما عندناش كلمة لها، يعني الشخص اللي يعطي ويعاون ومهتم بالناس التانية ومهتم بجيرانه ومجتمعه، يعني يكترث ويعدل ويدور. This is considerate. ممكن ما عندناش كلمة هيك بالدارج I don't know, but cooperative ماشي حالها. متعاون يعني ممكن نقدر نضمها تحت معنى considerate. لكن considerate جاية من consider، الفعل هو الverb consider. consider بمعنى يفكر أو يكترث أو يهتم، يفكر في شيء معين. consider. So considerate يعني جاية من الاكتراث أو الاهتمام. This is the idea. Helpful is clear. Honest is clear. Mature. Mature is, of course, we use it for people who behave like adults, not children. Okay, so of course, if you're an adult and you're behaving like a child, this is a problem, right? So mature, it means you have to behave like a grown-up, like an adult. We talked about moody. So moody, it means one time you're feeling friendly and then you're not friendly, happy, sad, angry, kind. Do you get the idea, Rashid? So it's someone who changes very quickly. In the morning, maybe she's happy and she's kind, but in the afternoon she's angry and she throws things at you, and then at night she's friendly again. So this is
90% اللي بي.
correct. Yeah, you're right. I think أغلبنا هيك. Yes. غالبيتنا رجالة ونسوينا. We're moody. We're very moody. In the morning, everybody's angry and they don't want to talk. They don't want anything. But maybe after lunch they're happy, and they become lazy. And then in the afternoon, they're friendly. So do you get the idea, Rashid? Moody in Arabic, what is it? What do you think it is, Rashid? Did you get the meaning from the definition moody or not yet?
Yes.
What is it?
I don't know the word in the Arabic.
in Arabic ممكن أسهل واحدة تستعملها مزاجي. مزاجي yes. شخص مزاجي، شخص مزاجي أحسن كلمة yes. Because mood بروحها من غير وايد هو مزاج. I'm in a bad mood. مثلا كان جوك مش منيح، تقدر تقول أي شخص معك تقول له I'm in a bad mood. فوتني معنا. I'm in a bad mood. So it means I'm not feeling good today. I'm a little angry. I'm not in a good mood. Okay, so this is moody. Organized, I think it's clear. People who plan things well, don't waste time. This is someone organized. Patient. A patient person can wait without getting angry. All right. I think not like the Libyan people, the opposite of Libyan people. We are impatient people. So this is the opposite, patient, impatient. So I think Libyans are very impatient. We're not patient. I think everybody knows polite. So polite, it means you're nice, you're kind, you show respect, you're not rude. This is polite. Reliable is also a good adjective. Now, reliable, it means people always do things that they promise to do. Okay, so if you have a reliable son or a reliable daughter or sister or brother, if they say, okay, I'll fix the car tomorrow, they will fix the car tomorrow. They do what they say. Do you get the idea? They keep their promises. So we can say reliable, we can say dependable. So in Arabic, what is this? Reliable, dependable. How do we translate it? Reliable. What do you think? Who can tell me, how do we translate?
موثوق.
تصدق به.
Yes.
صادق.
اوكي، هو صح
شخص
مبدئيا.
معتمد عليه.
بالضبط، يعتمد عليه احسن، لان موثوق عندنا كلمه اللي هي loyal لان اللي هو الوفي، الشخص الوفي. الشخص الوفي يمكن الوثوق فيه، ممكن اقرب للموثوق loyal. but reliable اكثر بالاعتماد.
يفي بوعده هذا.
اما هي reliable. yes. لأن وهذا ليش نقدر نعتمدوا عليه؟ لأن reliable جاية من الفعل rely راهو نفس معنى depend. It's the same meaning. rely and depend زي بعضهم. يعني احنا باللي بنقوله ينعب عليه، الشخص هذا ينعب عليه. This is the idea. وال unreliable هو الشخص اللي ما ينعباش عليه. You know, توصي عليه حاجة يقول لك باهي ويخطك بعدين. So this is reliable and unreliable. Rely نفس معنى depend. مرات reliable مرات يقولوا dependable. So if you have a reliable husband, wife, son, this is a great thing, because you know you can trust this person to do what they say they will do. This is the idea. We have rude. I think everybody knows rude. Rude is the opposite of polite. People who behave in a bad way and say bad things. Selfish is also clear. A person who thinks only about himself is a selfish person. And selfish is the opposite of considerate. So considerate is the opposite of selfish. Okay, so we have selfish. عندنا ممكن جديدة ما قريناش قبل هي sensible. Okay, I'm going to let you read sensible. Check the definition here and tell me what you think this means. First in English, sorry, مش selfish. First in English, and then after that, tell me what you think it means in Arabic. If I say, Michael is a very sensible man, what do I mean when I say Michael is a very sensible man? What do you think?
In Arabic or English?
Okay, sorry. Samiha, what do you think?
نعطيكم لك يعني بالعربي.
Okay.
أتوقع إنه هو الشخص اللي جامل ممكن يعطي فكرة مش نفس اللي في.
Okay. Okay, let's see other opinions. What do you think, Safia, sensible means?
قراراته صحيحة.
Correct.
حكيم ممكن.
Close. قربتي أنت أكثر. حكيم عادة يقولوا wise.
واقعي.
عادل.
واقعي.
واقعي حتى هي كويسة. Yes. واقعي يمشي حالة. عقلاني ممكن أقرب واحدة. عقلاني منطقي. شخص مش عاطفي يعني they make decisions based on logic, on reason.
For reasons, not feel.
يعني أيوة بالضبط، يعني عنده مشكلة حيشوف الأسباب مسببات يحاول يحللها بشكل عقلاني هادي, you know, without emotions. So they try not to react aggressively or be rude, for example, or be selfish. No, they try to think about it slowly and make a good decision based on thinking. مبني على عقلانية. So I think presidents and politicians have to be sensible, right? Because if you have a politician or a president who's not sensible, maybe he will start a war. If he's in a bad mood, maybe he will, you know, write a stupid law or do something that affects the lives of others. You get the idea? So people who are responsible for others, doctors, teachers, presidents, mothers, fathers, all of these people have to be sensible. They shouldn't be emotional. Act sensible هو emotional. What does it mean, emotional, in Arabic? If we say someone he's
عاطفي.
yes, he's too emotional. And actually emotional, it's not, in English, usually it's not positive. يعني احنا مرات عاطفي يحسبوا فيها زي عاطفي رومانسي، يعني يحسبوا فيها positive. لكن في الإنجليزية مش نفس الشيء. emotional هو شخص غير عقلاني، شخص متسرع في قراراته، بالمزاج يعني يخدم. This is the idea. Emotional عادة it's a negative adjective. It's not a good adjective. Sensible is a good adjective. It means you're thinking before you're acting. This is the point. Sensible. Talented, I think most of you know the meaning of talented. People who are naturally good at something. This is clear. Tidy. Tidy is very, very close to organized. قريبة
دكتور
منها.
معناها
Yes.
sense بالعكس emotional ولا؟
Which one? Sensible. Sensible تعطي بالعكس emotional صح؟
مم.
Sensible. وsensible عكس emotion. You're right. Yes. Sensible.
Emotional and sensitive, same thing, I think.
Close. Close. But I think emotional is worse than sensitive, because maybe someone who's sensitive, maybe he is aware of that he is sensitive. عرفتي يعني ممكن يكون مدرك لمشكلته. في بعض الناس حسين يعرف نفسه مثلا حساس تجاه شيء معين، مثلا حساس تجاه السياسة، ما يتحملش في مثلا جهة أو دون الأخرى، أو مثلا حساس في الأكل. Some people have sensitive stomachs. You know, they quickly get GIT problems. So sensitive can also, it depends what kind of sensitivity. But emotional, it means it's in your mind, because sensitive can be in your body. Do you get the idea? Someone who's sensitive, it doesn't have to be in the mind. It could be also in your body. Sensitive skin. Some people have sensitive skin. They easily get, dermatitis and problems. They have sensitive, I don't know, sensitive anything. Sensitive stomach, sensitive skin. Usually it's about the body, sensitive. Emotional, it's about the mind, your emotions. But you're kind of close, yes. Sensitive, we can maybe use it for people who get upset or angry easily.
Okay.
Tidy is very close to organized. I don't think it's very different. I think باللي بيشبه نفس الكلمة احنا نقوله. How do we say tidy?
مرتب.
منظم.
Yes, مرتب منظم. Yeah. This is the meaning of tidy. So if you put your things in the right place, for example, the clothes in the cupboard, the blankets on the bed, the shoes in front of the house, the spoons in the drawer, the books in the bookshelf. If you're a person who takes care of these things, you're a tidy person. If you don't, it means you're untidy or you're disorganized. Okay, so these are some of the adjectives we will use in today's lesson. And also we have some nice photos. I want to show you the photos, the pictures, I mean. We only have two. Yes. Let me check. I remember. No, we just have these photos, just two. So you can see here, she's bright. Can you see the first example? She's bright. It means she got A+. Can you see what she got? A+. Because she's bright. It means she's very good in class. Do you get the idea? The meaning of bright. It's like smart, but usually it's related to studying. It's related to classrooms. This is the meaning of bright. He's polite. Can you see how he's opening the door for the lady, for the woman? So he's polite. Can you see aggressive? I think he's Libyan. He's very angry. And organized. everything is in the right place. So she's an organized person or an organized woman. All right, so these are the adjectives. Let's take a look. Let's go back and let's use them. Sorry, not this. Which page? Forgot which page. Oh, not this one. 48, yes. All right, here we are. So these are the adjectives. Now let's use some of them. It says, choose 4 adjectives that describe your character and 4 that don't. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we'll have to change this exercise a bit. So I want you to use 4 adjectives to talk about yourself, okay? And you can explain a little bit why you think these adjectives are suitable for you. علاش يتماشوا معاك adjectives. And of course, you can also use the opposites. يعني, for example, organized, you can say, I am disorganized. Mature, you can say, I am immature. Patient, impatient. If you want to use opposites, في بعض منهم فيهم opposites. Okay, so who would like to go first? Maybe tell us about your character, about your personality. If you cannot use 4 adjectives, just use 2 or 3 of them. Would you like to start, Samiha? Would you like to tell us about yourself using these adjectives? You can
I think it's difficult to talk about yourself.
I think it's the easiest thing to talk about.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, but use
because I'm very moody. I don't know what
So you can say moody.
Okay.
One of them is moody.
Okay, yes, very moody.
All right. So
Okay.
you're moody.
Doctor, about
Yes.
that, I ask, can I say very before
You can.
this adjective?
Yes, you can use very before adjectives. Yes.
Okay. I am very moody and helpful.
Helpful.
Yes. And I'm ambitious.
Ambitious.
Yes.
It's a good thing.
Yes, that's it, I think.
Okay, this is a nice description. It's good. So you have good things and not so good things. What about moodiness? Do you think it's a very bad thing or a normal thing or not always sometimes? What do you think about moodiness? And why do you think some people are moody? Not just you, I mean in general. Why do you think some people are moody? In your opinion? What do you think? Do you think there's a reason, or do you think it's just a personality? Samiha, what do you think?
I think it's more related to personality. But I think maybe the difference between the people who live with maybe make you moody.
Interesting. So you're talking about also the environment, or the family members, or the people who live with the moody person or who work with the moody person. Maybe they have an effect, making him or her more moody or less moody.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's a good explanation, I think. Okay, let's see someone else. Manan, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? You can use some of these adjectives. If you want to use other adjectives, that's also okay. But remember, we want to use adjectives for character, not for appearance, for example, not for tall, short. We just want character, personality.
I am bright.
Okay.
and very moody.
Okay.
كيف بنقول إنه مؤخرا يعني مؤخرا وليت مثلا
lately or recently. I've
كيف
become
بنقول مثلا كيف نقول إني مؤخرا يعني وليت سنس أكتر.
هذه هي اللي كنت بقول لك فيها. تقدر تقولي lately I've become كذا مثلا. lately I've become more. خلينا نكتبها تحت. lately I've become. انت حتوصفي تغيير جديد صار.
become ولا became؟
lately I've become because عندنا become. التصريف الثالث become.
become, yes.
Yeah, so we say become. I became in the past simple. I've become. نرجع ل become مرة تانية مع الهاف. So it's a strange verb. became. ممكن الوحيد اللي فيه التصريف هذا. حتى نفس الشيء came, come. مثلا I've come to pick you up. فلو استعملت الهاف تصبح become. Okay, lately I've become more. وتقدر تحطي more adjective. لو صاير تغيير حديث زي المثال اللي دويت عليه منال, you can use بالشكل هذا يعني. So you can say lately I've become more sensitive. Lately I've become more aggressive.
sensible مش sensible.
Sensible. Okay, that's good. Lately I've become more sensible. Okay, so it's a good change. It's not a bad change. So you're saying that your moodiness is decreasing, or lately you've become less moody, right? You can do it like this, by the way. So you can say, I'm usually moody, but lately I've become less moody. So you're showing some change. Nice. Okay. Would you like to add any other adjectives, Manan?
very tidy.
You're a very tidy person. Interesting. Okay. Any other adjectives?
شو قلت لي أنت على الكاركتر نقول حاجة يعني.
Yes. هو كلهم على الكاركتر هادو, بس لو أنت بتضيفي حاجة خارج الصندوق وتصف الكاركتر, no problem, you can.
مثلا مش اجتماعية عشان يعني نسيتها أنا نعرف نسيتها.
Okay. So you can say shy. I'm shy. Or you can say the opposite. You can say I'm not sociable. Sociable. Let's write it here.
أيوة social.
Sociable اللي هو اجتماعية. ولو الشخص مش اجتماعي يقدر يقول I'm not very sociable, for example. Or I'm a bit shy. يمشي الحال.
unsociable ولا؟
unsociable. I don't know. يحس فيها قوية شوية. زي اللي هم زي جماعة الانتي سوشيال اللي عندهم ما في قسم الجماعة الأمراض النفسية يقولون لهم انتي سوشيال. عندهم زي البيرسونال, عندهم يقولوا لها personality disorder, يعني اضطراب شخصية. يعني يعتبر هذو جماعة مش ناس طبيعية, عندهم نوع من الاضطراب unsociable. وإلا جماعة التوحد يعتبروا unsociable مثلا. لكن الناس الطبيعية اللي مش اجتماعيين الأخف ممكن تنقال I'm a bit shy, وإلا I'm not very sociable. I'm not very sociable أحسن من unsociable نهائيا. Okay, do you get the idea? وصلت الفكرة ولا ما وصلتش؟ صفية اللي سألتي صح ولا؟ قلتي unsociable. أيوة. فممكن نقولي I'm not very sociable, يعني نوع من التخفيف يعني not very sociable, مش اجتماعية هلبة يعني. Okay, so these are good descriptions, Manan. Let's see someone else. Selma, would you like to tell us about yourself, about your character, your personality?
Okay. I'm ambitious.
Ambitious. Mm-hmm.
And moody,
Okay.
and sometimes unreliable.
Sometimes unreliable. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We also have another adjective مش موجود لكن يعني ممكن سهل وصف سهل استعماله والكل يعرفه. مثلا friendly يعتبر من adjectives اللي هي لها علاقة بالشخصية. Friendly, unfriendly. Do you think you're a friendly person, Salma? Are you a friendly person?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you want to use any other adjectives from this list or any other?
No, I think.
All right. Okay. Let's check. Rashid, tell us a little bit about yourself. Which adjectives would you use to talk about yourself?
I am the opposite of tidy.
Yeah, like me. You're disorganized. So you can say
I am friendly.
uh-huh. Okay. If you want to say the opposite of tidy, you can say untidy, disorganized. زوز يمشي حال. Friendly, you're friendly. Okay.
I am helpful.
Helpful. Mhm.
And I don't know.
Do you think you're aggressive? Are you an aggressive person? هم عادة الفريندلي مش aggressive هم لأن friendly نقدر نعتبره نوعا ما oppositely aggressive. يعني aggressive بيكون عنيف أو عدواني و friendly العكس. You know, ودود, kind, friendly. Are you moody? Do you think you're moody?
Sometimes in Libya.
Sometimes because of Libya. What about patient? Are you a patient person? Can you wait for long times without getting upset? Or you think you're not very patient?
I think I am not very.
You're not very patient.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. Do you want to add any other adjectives to talk about yourself?
No, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else would like to tell us maybe about themselves? All right. Okay. So we can move on. So here we want to use some of these adjectives and we want to talk about a family. The Cooper family, okay? So we're gonna read about the Cooper family. Can you see the photo here of this family? Can you see it? So we have the father, the mother, and we have two daughters. Now from the picture, can you describe the family? And can you describe their personalities? Who would like to maybe make some guesses? Of course, we don't know, because we haven't read about them yet, but I just want you to guess, okay? Make a few guesses. Tell me, what about the father? What do you think he's like? Do you think he's aggressive or do you think he's friendly? What do you think? Sophia, what do you think of the father? His personality? Do you think he's friendly?
Yes.
And what about the mother here? What do you think of her personality, her character? Also, do you think she's also friendly?
Friendly and younger than her age.
She looks younger than her age.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. What about the daughter on the left?
Sad.
Here.
Sadness.
Sad. Do you think she's sad?
Moody.
Moody. Maybe she's aggressive. Maybe. Because she's not smiling, right? Yes. I think maybe she's from Libya, this girl. She's angry and aggressive and moody. Yes, maybe she doesn't. Yeah, good answer. Maybe she doesn't want to take a photograph, because some people don't like to take a photograph. So maybe she doesn't want to take a photograph. What about what about her sister here in the middle?
Selfish.
Selfish? Do you think she's selfish?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe she's confident? Do you think she's confident? What does it mean, confident? Who can tell me confident? Confident is the opposite of shy. So we have confident and shy. Do you know what the meaning of shy is, Rashid?
Yeah.
So what's the opposite? What do you think? in بالعربي يعني بالليبي كيف؟ أو شخص confident أو شخص مش shy. What do you think? Who can guess the opposite of shy? I mean the meaning of confident. لأن هي أصلا confident opposite of shy. What do you think, Samiha? The confident. What do you think it means? Can you guess?
I know the meaning, but how to explain it?
Okay.
Okay. Confident.
Okay, so
maybe someone who feeling relaxed with other people and can talking
correct. Okay,
very
good.
confident, very confident, talking.
Okay.
Can't find the word.
So you're saying that a confident person has no problem or doesn't feel nervous or worried when they're talking with other people. So they are relaxed, they don't worry, they can speak without any problems, without getting nervous, right?
Yes.
So in Arabic, let's see who can. Rashid, what is it in Arabic? اللي هو الوصف اللي وصفته لنا سميحة. What do you think? Someone who can speak without worrying, without being, shy or nervous, relaxed, even with a lot of people, relaxed.
ما نعرفش كيف نقولها بالعربي.
Okay, let's see. Selma, what do you think it is? Confident.
واثق.
اجتماعي.
هم عادة الاجتماعيين confident صح؟
واثق من نفسه.
بالضبط، هي بالضبط هي الثقة أو شخص واثق من نفسه confident. بس اجتماعي نوعا ما صح، لأن غالب الاجتماعيين عندهم ثقة. الغالبية يعني most social people or sociable people usually they are confident. And most unsociable people or people who are not very sociable, they're usually not very confident. So my question is, do you think that the middle sister here, do you think she's confident? What do you think? From
Yes.
her picture, maybe yes, because she's she's sitting comfortably, she's smiling, and I think she looks confident.
Maybe she make her sister angry.
Maybe she's happy. That's why you think she made her sister angry. Maybe, yes. What do you think, Manal, of the middle sister here? What's your opinion? What do you think her personality is?
Relaxed.
She's relaxed. Do you think she's easygoing? Maybe. Maybe so. She's relaxed, easygoing. All right, so let's read about this family and let's find out about the two girls, because we're gonna read about these two girls and we want to find out. But before we talk about them, we have some general questions here. So the first question, it says, which is the most difficult to be? A child, a teenager, a middle-aged person, an old person, and why? So let me explain this question. Here they want the most difficult to be. So they're talking about us. So in your opinion, which is the hardest? Is it to be a child, or to be a teenager, to be a middle-aged person, or to be an old person? So let me explain what middle-aged means. In English, usually middle-aged is I think maybe 40 to 60. Someone from who's 40 to 60 is usually middle-aged. Maybe 45, not 40. We can say 45 to someone who's 45 years to 60, هادو middle-aged. If it's more than 60, we can say old. Someone more than 60 is old. So let's see your opinions. Let's start with Sophia. What do you think?
A child.
Manal, you think a child is the most difficult to be?
A child and old person.
A child
Teenager
and
old person. Teenager or old person.
teenager and old person. This is the most difficult to be, you think?
Yeah.
Interesting. Samiha, do you agree?
Also teenager and old age.
Teenager and old age. It's hard to be a teenager and it's hard to be old.
Yes.
Okay, but why?
Hard to be.
Hard to be, difficult to be, not to live with, to be.
Okay.
So they want you to imagine yourself as a teenager or a child or a middle-aged person or an old person. Just imagine and think to yourself, is this easy or is it difficult to be in this age? This is the question.
Yes, an old person.
Okay. Why do you think it's difficult to be an old person?
The end of the life.
Because it's the end. The end is near.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe if reach to this age without reach to your everything you need in your life, maybe, and maybe you're feeling alone.
Retired.
That's it.
Okay, so maybe because you're feeling alone.
Yes.
Okay.
No one helps you, or maybe.
All
I don't know.
Okay, let's see other opinions. Sophia and Manal, and what do you think? Sophia, you said teenager and old person, right?
Yes.
Why do you think it's difficult to be a teenager?
Teenager because moody and unorganized and impatient, aggressive.
Okay, that's true. So it's hard to live like a teenager. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Okay. And
A child.
a child, Mana, you think it's hard? Most difficult is to be a child.
Yes, because children are very sensitive.
Sensitive.
And we are in a society don't kind, polite for elder.
Okay. And but if you're a child, everybody does everything for you, right? You've got you don't have to work. You don't have to.
Family, not family, not others.
Okay, so you're saying a child, maybe, are you talking about children without families? Is it hard to be a child without a family? Is that what you think?
No,
You're speaking generally about
in the
childhood.
schools or street.
At school or in the street. Okay. Let's see. What do you think, Rashid? The hardest age to be, in your opinion?
Middle-aged person and old person.
Okay. Why? Why do you think it's hard? It's difficult to be middle-aged?
In Libya.
In Libya, it's difficult, but why?
Because it's hard to
It's hard to
it's hard to in Libya. It's hard to make halal money, and
okay. So you can say it's hard to make a good living. Make a good living. A good living. And you said something. What else?
I don't know.
But it's a good idea. Maybe for people who are middle-aged and they want to start a new job or get a good job, maybe it's not easy. So maybe you have a point. All right. What about the next question? It says, which is the most difficult to live with? Now it's the opposite. Think of someone else who's living with you and think of different ages: child, teenager, middle-aged person, and old person. So imagine someone from this age is living with you. Which is the most difficult? Teenager, you think? Teenagers are hard to live with?
Yeah.
Old person.
Old person. Old person. Sami, how do you think?
Teenager.
Teenagers are hard to live with. Interesting. Okay, for those who said teenagers, why is it hard to live with a teenager?
Because very moody.
They're very moody. Okay.
They're very moody and aggressive.
They're aggressive. Sometimes they're aggressive. It's true. They can be.
Aggressive behavior.
Yeah, lots of aggressive behavior.
Yes. They have psychic changing.
Yeah, psychological changes. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. These are good answers. But those who said living with an old person is hard or difficult, why is it hard? Why do you think it's hard living with an old person? Someone who's maybe more than 60?
Because they start to be moody.
That's correct. Actually, old people are also moody. I think that's right. They become moody. You're kind of right. They get upset easily. They get confused easily. Okay, so this is one reason they're moody. Any other reasons? Can you think of any other reasons, Rashid? Why it's hard to live with someone old?
They untidy.
They're untidy. Okay. Do you think they need a lot of help, old people? Or do you think they are independent?
Yeah, independent.
What does it mean, independent? What do you think it means? Dependent. Okay, Alex, I'll try to explain. Independent is someone who doesn't need help. Someone who can do things on their own without a lot of help. This is independent. But old people, Rash, do you think they're, let's ask Selma. Selma, do you think old people are independent?
No, they have a lot of requests.
You're right. They have a lot of requests. Bring this, bring my coat, bring my gloves, bring me, make me tea, blah, blah, blah. No. It's too cold. Close the window, open the radiator. It's too hot. No. Right? They're like this sometimes. I agree. I think this is true. They complain a lot. They have lots of requests. And they're always complaining about children and teenagers. Children are different. When we were younger, we weren't like this. When we were younger, this didn't happen, blah, blah. I think living with an old person is maybe harder than living with a teenager, I think. Okay, so now let's read. Let's read about this family and let's find out what their problem is. So it says here, look at the headline in the article. Who is the enemy, do you think? Read the first paragraph only. Okay, so now can you see the headline or the title here? Okay, can you see this? That I want you only to read the first the title. Let me put it in a box. So I want you to read the title and this paragraph, okay? And I want you to tell me, what do they mean when they say living with the enemy? What do they mean? First of all, take a minute, read it, read this title and the paragraph, and then you can answer. Okay, who has finished?
Me.
All right. Who can tell me, what does this mean, living with the enemy? What do they mean? What's the meaning of enemy anyways? What does it mean when we say?
Fighting every time with a teenager at home, like in a war.
Yeah, that's actually correct, I think. That's what they're trying to say. That when life with a teenager is like being, at war. Every day is a new war, right, with the teenagers. But enemy, the word enemy on its own, what does it mean if we say enemy? And can you give me an example, Samiha, of an enemy? An example of two countries that are enemies, for example.
Israel.
And Israel and who? The enemy of who? Israel.
The Arab people and Palestine.
Okay. Palestinian people,
special, yes.
But Israel is now friends with a lot of Arabs, with Morocco,
Yes.
with the Emirates, with Saudi Arabia. With Saudi Arabia, not official, but they're friends.
The traitors people.
Sorry?
They said these are the treacherous people, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, well, but I get you, but you're right. مثالك صح. So enemy اللي هو بمعنى عدو يعني, living with the enemy. So here, like Samiha said, the enemy, they're talking about teenagers. So this is what the title is about. Okay, so now let's read all of it. I'm going to give you some time to read it. So take some time and read about this. But let me see if we have only this part. Well, if you just give me a second. Okay, so it's only this part. Okay, very nice. So start reading, and when you're done, when you're finished, just let me know, and we can check the questions together. Anyone finished?
Yes.
Yes.
I finish.
All right, nice. Safiya and Manal and Sabiha, have you finished? Or not yet?
Finish.
Okay, good. That's good. Okay. Okay, so everyone is finished. Now let's check the question part. So we already covered question number 4A. The enemy is teenagers. Now the first question is, who is easier to live with? Is it Debbie or is it Millie? Can you remember who is it easier to live with?
I think maybe.
Debbie.
Debbie or Millie? Let me take you
Yeah,
back.
Debbie.
So who is easier to live with? Is it Debbie or Millie? Are you sure?
Debbie moody.
Ah, okay. Debbie is the moody one.
Yes.
Millie is the older sister. She's older, Millie. But which one is easier to live with? This is the question. And can you show me where's the answer exactly? Which part?
Millie.
Millie? Is there a part that says which one of them is easier to live with? Okay, I'm going to help you a bit. Of course, Millie is easier to live with, okay? But my question is why? Why is Millie, let me just check the question very quickly. Who is easier to live with, Millie or Debbie? Millie is easier to live with, okay? But I want you to show me why. Why is Millie?
Maybe because they be more selfish.
Nice. Okay, this is one reason. So Millie is easier to live with because Debbie is more selfish. Let's
moody.
Debbie is more moody. Debbie is more
she's
selfish.
Aggressive.
She's also more aggressive. You're right.
And Millie less moody.
Yes. So Millie is less moody. And also it says Millie is more considerate, right? It means opposite of selfish. She's not selfish. She's more selfish. She's moody.
But Debbie more better in
You're right, yes. Debbie in school is better than Millie.
right.
You're right, yeah. And also, can you see here what her mother says? She says, I'm more worried about Debbie. So she's more worried than Millie, right? Her mother is more worried about Debbie.
She isn't happy.
Yeah, she's not very happy. So this means the correct answer is Millie. It's easier to live with Millie, and these are the reasons. Debbie is more selfish, Millie is more considerate, and less moody, and also their mother, she's more worried about Debbie. So this is why.
But Debbie more ambitious.
This is a good thing. Yes, this is one of the good things about Debbie. Debbie is more ambitious. She's, you know, she's more organized. So that's correct. These are some of the good things about Debbie. All right, let's check the next question. So we've completed question C. Now we have true or false. So here, I want you to read these 6 sentences, okay? So take a minute, read these 6 sentences, and we want to see true, which ones are true, and which ones are false. If it's false, we have to correct it, okay? So this is the question. What about number 2? Debbie is doing false, correct.
False.
That's right. But what's the correct answer?
It's
Doing better.
Correct. Debbie is doing better at school. Debbie is doing better than Millie. This is the right answer. Good, good. Okay, Debbie knows what job she wants to do.
True.
Yes,
It's true. It's true. She knows what she wants. Correct. Schoolwork is quite difficult for Millie.
False.
True.
Is it true or false? Not for Debbie, for Millie.
Ah, false, false.
False or true?
Quite difficult for Millie. Yes, true, true.
True. Millie is having problems at school. Okay.
Yeah.
Millie is 17 years old.
False.
False. How old is she?
16.
She's 16. She's not 17. Sorry, false. Correct, correct. Millie, their mother, Polly, is worried about both of her daughters.
True.
Correct, correct. But which one is she worried about more? Is she worried more about? Yes.
Millie.
Actually,
because isn't happy.
Yes, she's worried more about Debbie, about the younger sister. She's worried about the younger daughter, I mean. Okay. All right, very nice. So that's correct. That's good. Now let's take a look at number 5. Our next question. So here we have a nice grammar question, I think, in number 5. Yes. Okay. So okay. So this first part, this is from elementary. So I think this part is maybe easy. You can quickly remember it. So here, if you remember, we have some rules for comparatives. Do you remember the lesson in elementary when we talked about Phuket and Bangkok? Do you remember that lesson in elementary? You can remember it.
I remember.
Yeah. If you remember, in that lesson, we talked about comparatives, how to use comparatives. Yeah. So the first part, all of this, this is, just مجرد مراجعة يعني. نوع من المراجعة. It's the same, nothing new here, okay? So let's quickly do this and check. So here it says, look at the comparatives in bold. How do we make comparatives of these adjectives? So if you have a one-syllable adjective like old, what's the comparative? How do we make a comparative?
We use ER.
That's correct. Only ER, right? Old, older. That's it. Yeah. What about if it's a one-syllable adjective, but the spelling you have consonant, vowel, consonant? What do we do?
More or must?
No, here it's still one syllable. Like for example, big. What's the comparative of big?
Yeah. We use another G and we use ER.
Exactly. So here it's ER, it's the same rule as number 1, but there's a change in spelling, right? We double the last letter. Big, bigger, hot, hotter. Just double the spelling, double the last letter. All right, what about adjectives that end in Y? And 2-syllable adjectives like easy, sunny, windy.
IER, easier.
It's Y.
Correct.
And
Correct.
we use IER.
That's it. We remove or we delete the Y and we put IER. That's it. Okay. So delete the Y and use IER. So easy becomes like this, easier, or sunny becomes sunnier. That's correct. All right. Now, what about 2-syllable adjectives?
We use more before the adjective.
That's it. So we say more selfish, more beautiful, more important, more interesting, more considerate, more disorganized. Very good. What about adjectives with 3 syllables or more? What do we do?
We use more.
The same thing, right? So
Yeah.
number 4 and 5, it's the same. We just use more. So we can say more organized, more, I don't know, what other adjectives did you talk about? More easygoing, more relaxed. Yeah, okay. What about adjectives good and bad? How do we
Best, better.
Good, better.
Correct.
Good, better.
Yeah, we say better if we want a comparative, better. And what about bad?
Badly.
Badly.
Worrying, maybe.
Well, it starts with W. What else?
Water. Like that.
Worse.
Worse.
Yeah.
Worse. So the opposite of better is worse, right? So she's doing worse than her sister. So actually Millie is doing worse than Debbie. All right. And tip هذه جديدة ما كانتش عندكم في elementary, this tip.
ولو بنقارنها بالجروب نقول worst ولا؟
لو هي أكثر واحدة في المجموعة كلها. worst. لكن هذا ما يعتبرش comparative، يعتبر superlative. موضوع ثاني. اللي هو the most expensive, the best, the worst, the biggest, the sunniest. اللي هو هذا كلهم يعتبروا superlative أقصى حاجة. لكن في درس اليوم مجرد comparatives. أيوة. Yeah. Alright, الملاحظة هذه ممكن جديدة. قال لك the opposite of more is less. So you can use less in comparison. في المقارنة بإمكاننا نستعمله less. مش ضروري more. يعني مش ضروري نقوله مثلا Debbie is more moody than Millie. نقدر نعكسه. نقدر نقوله Millie is less moody than Debbie. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
يعني الجملة الأصلية كانت هي Debbie is more moody than Millie. صح ولا؟ مش هيك اتفقنا احنا في القصة لما أمهم تحكي عليهم. قالت Debbie is more moody than Millie. But we can also say Millie is less moody than Debbie. All right, so less is the opposite of more. We can use less to compare. All right, now what about part B here? Which word is missing? What's missing here? شنو النقص? Than. That's correct. Yes. So here we have to use than in comparatives, right? So Debbie's more selfish than Millie. That's right. Very good. Okay, so now let's check our next part in part C here. Let's see the question. So here it says, which of these words mean a big difference and which of them mean a small difference? So here they want us to show what they want us to answer, or maybe tell the difference. So we have a lot tidier, much more considerate, and a bit more mature. So my question is
small difference.
Right.
Much more, much big difference.
That's correct. So let's match them. So this means this one a bit, this is a small difference, but a lot and also much more. Here we have a big difference. Okay, so if you say, for example, Ahmed is a lot taller than Omar, so the difference is big, right? So a lot taller, so there's a big difference. But if I say Ahmed is a bit taller than Omar, so the difference is small. So you can also show in comparatives, you can show the difference using a lot and using a bit. Do you get the idea? It's clear how to use a lot and how to use a bit and how to use much. Okay, now let's take a look at our next part. Okay, Rashid, can you read the two examples for us, please, Rashid? In blue, can you read them for us?
Millie's as confident as Debbie. Debbie isn't happy as Millie.
Okay, so Manal, now the question is for you, number one. It says, which sentence means the girls are different? In which sentence the girls are different?
Sentence.
The first or second?
Second.
Correct. So the first one, the girls are different. But what about which sentence says the girls are the same, Manal? What do you think?
First as confident.
Correct.
First
The first, you're right. The first one, it shows that they are the same. Very good. Okay, but what about the last question? It says, do we use the adjective or its comparative form with not as, حاجة as, اللي هي هنا التركيبة الجديدة هذه اللي جتنا. Let me here put it. Here. So we used it here and we used it here. So the question is, what did we use here? Did we use the adjective, الصفة الأصلية, وإلا هل استعملنا الcomparative form؟ أما واحدة الadjective الأصلي أو الcomparative? What do you think?
الأصلي.
Correct. يعني لو تلاحظوا شوفوا التركيبة. Let me put a circle. شنو استعملنا في المثال الأول؟ It says Millie's as confident. صح ولا؟ ما قلناش Millie's as more confident مثلا، ولا نفس الشيء هنا. ما قلناش happier، ما قلناش bigger. يعني حنستعمل الادجكتيف الأصلي. يعني نقدر نقول Debbie isn't as old as Millie. Debbie isn't as considerate as Millie. Debbie isn't as intelligent as Millie. So this means في كل الأمثلة لو استعملت التركيبة هي جديدة اللي اليوم حنتكلم عليها يعني حاليا. This means you have to use an adjective. معناها حتستعملوا adjective. Put an adjective here. Okay. So, for example, if I want to compare this class with the elementary class, I can say pre-intermediate is not as easy as elementary. And I can say the number of students isn't as, or the class isn't as big as elementary. Or I can say the book isn't as long أو بالعكس بنبدأ معنا بنقولوا the elementary book isn't as long as the pre-intermediate book. أنا مش متشابهات في الطول. Do you get the idea? So if you want to use this كويسة هي للمقارنة، بس ضروري حننتبهوا أن حنستعملوا الادجكتيف بشكله الأصلي. Okay? Do you get the idea? هذه ممكن الموضوع الجديد في حصة اليوم اخذناه شيء في الاليمنتري المرة اللي فاتت اللي هي التركيبة هذه. So let me quickly read it again for you. So we have Millie's as confident as Debbie. What does this mean exactly, Salma, when we say Millie's as confident as Debbie? Can you explain it in another way? Millie's as confident as Debbie. Do they have the same confidence, or are they different? Or do you think one of them is more confident than the other? What do you think, Salma?
Can you repeat your question?
Yes, the question is in number one, in the first sentence here, this one.
Yeah.
Millie's as confident as Millie's as confident as Debbie. My question is the confidence for the two sisters, is it the same? Or is Millie more confident? Or is Debbie more confident? Or is it the same?
The same.
That's it, correct. If you say as, adjective as, the same. It means it's the same, okay? Okay, Rashid, the second example here when we say Debbie isn't as happy as Millie. What does this mean? Does it mean is their happiness the same? Or is Millie happier? Or is Debbie happier? What do you think, Rashid? The second example. Debbie isn't
Millie happier.
Correct, very good. So if we want to change the sentence, we can say Millie is happier than Debbie. Or we can say Debbie isn't as happy as Millie. Right? معناها أصبح عندنا خيارين في التكلم عن الcomparative. عندنا الصيغة الأولى اللي هي الhappy, happier, big, bigger وهكذا نفسها اللي اخذناها في الاليمنتري، وأيضا ضفنا الصيغة الجديدة هذه. لو الحاجتين اللي تقارنوا بيناتهم متشابهات فنستعملوا as, adjective as big as old as new as considerate as, أي adjective, right? But if you want to show that the two things are different, نقولوا isn't as, adjective as. So isn't as hot as, isn't as big as. So we can say, for example, Tunisia isn't as big as Libya, right? Because the size of Libya is bigger than Tunisia. But we can say Libya isn't as big as China because China is bigger than Libya, right? So isn't as, adjective as طريقة حلوة نوعا ما يعني فيها شوية تطوير أو اختلاف عن طريقة الكومباريزن العادية اللي متعودين عليها. Okay, this is the idea. Now let me show you the summary so we can check. Let's see if we have any tips. هنشوفوا لو في أي ملاحظات to talk about them. So let's take a look. Okay. هذا اللي هو الجدول اللي عندنا من الاليمنتري نفس القصة. So with one syllable adjectives we put ER فقط. Old, older, bright, brighter, dry, drier. تمام. Here it says لو adjective ينتهي ب E, nice, نحط له R فقط. Nice, nicer, rude, ruder, right? If the adjective عندنا هذه اللي دورت عليها مسلمة, if it's فيه تركيبة الconsonant, vowel consonant, we double the last letter and we add ER. Bigger, fatter, newer. And here we have two syllable adjectives ending in Y. اللي فيهم ال Y اتفقنا. Easy, easier, tidy, tidier, sunny, sunnier. والباقي عندنا قصة more. لو الadjective طويل حنحطه more. وعندنا اللي هم irregular غير منتظمات. Good, better, bad, worse, far, further وهكذا. حتى هذا تكلمنا عليه. ضروري من استعمال than لو منقارنه. Debbie's more selfish than Millie. اتفقنا ان lot و much big difference. A bit small difference. اوكي عندنا ملاحظة كويسة هنا. Sophia, can you read this tip for us, please? What does this say? عندنا ملاحظة جانبية حلوة هذه.
We can also use more than nouns. He's got more money. Then here, I've got more free time than my brother.
اوكي شنو المختلف هنا اللي كنا ندوي عليه؟ في حاجة تغيرت صح ولا؟ لاحظي.
adjective هنا إيش adjective؟
ما استعملناش adjective right؟ يعني قارنا باستعمال nouns.
And more.
وباستعمال more بالضبط. أن المور فيها الأوبشن تركب مع الادجكتيف زي ما أخذنا فوق في القاعدة اللي هم الادجكتيفز الطويلة زي more intelligent, more beautiful, more considerate, more easygoing. بس أيضا المور يمشي حالها حتى مع الناونز. I've got more pens than my brother. My brother's got more books than me. صح ولا؟ Books, pens.
Yes.
فحتى الناونز نقدر نقارنه بهم. هذه ملحوظة يعني جانبية. So تفيدنا يعني نقدر نقارنه باستعمال الناونز. اوكي. Now الموضوع اللي كنا نتكلم عليه اللي هو قصة not as adjective as. هذه التركيبة الجديدة اللي تكلمنا عليها اليوم. فهذه كويسة وتتيح لكم تقارنوا من غير استعمال ER والمور في القصة ذيك. مش معناها لو الخطأ لكن خيار ثاني. So if you want to show that things are different لو بنركزوا على الاختلاف بنقولوا not as. So not as intelligent as, not as أي شيء as, right? Not as fast as. So we can say, for example, Toyotas are not as fast as Lamborghinis. Because Lamborghinis are faster than Toyotas. لكن مش ضروري نقولوا Lamborghinis are faster. بإمكاننا نقولوا not as fast as مثلا. بس لو الشيء متشابه أو متساوي هنقولوا as كذا as. So the weather in Libya is as hot as Egypt, for example. ممكن مش نفس الشيء ولكن مثال يعني. So if we want to say they are the same, they are equal, we say the weather in Libya is as hot as Egypt. Or the weather in Libya is as dry as Egypt. Okay? So this means it's the same. هذه اتفقنا فيها أن we have to use اللي هو adjective. يعني happy, hot, cold, fast. ممنوع استعمال comparative. Can you read where's Manal, can you read this tip? The last tip. Can you read this for us? What does it say here?
She isn't as happy as her sister. Not she isn't as happier as her sister. Would you then not as she's as confident as her sister? Not she's as confident than her sister.
فهنا ملاحظتين مهمات في الصيغة الجديدة هذه اللي تكلمنا عليها اليوم. فيها شوية شروط. أهم شيء حسب الشرطين اللي موجودين تحت لو حتستعملوها الصيغة هذه ممنوع استعمال than. ما فيش than. وممنوع استعمال comparative form. ضروري من استعمال الادجكتيف الأصلي.
Noun.
لا الناون بروحها في اللي فاتت. هذه مش بالناون. هذه الناون مع المور هذا موضوع تاني. هنا الادجكتيف. لا هنوريك اللي هو الأمثلة. Like this example. Can you see this, Safia? This one? Can you read it?
Debbie is not as happy as Millie.
And can you read this
Happy
example?
adjective.
happy اللي هي الادجكتيف بالضبط. والمثال الثاني؟
Millie is as confident as Debbie.
Right. Where's the adjective?
Confident.
بالضبط. Yes. This is the idea. Okay. So التركيبة هذه للمقارنة كويسة ومفيدة وكل شيء، لكن ضروري التقيد بشروطها. ما فيهاش than، ما فيهاش more، ما فيهاش er، ما فيهاش أي من الكلام هذا. بتحط الادجكتيف زي ما هو. ولازم نديروا as adjective as، أو لو بننفوا نقولوا not as adjective as. هي دي فكرة القاعدة. Alright.
Debbie is as happy as Millie is as.
صح. لو فكرتك انك تبي توصلي ان هم يعني نفس درجة السعادة. صح. ما انت يعتمد على القصد ايش بتوصلي يعني. لو بتوصلي للمستمع
قصدي is as هيك جرت بعض هذه.
صح هي هيك زي في المثال اللي تحت شوفها. Millie is as. لتها الاس اللي جايه مع ميلي. هذه في الحقيقة is verb to be is. Can you see it here?
Yes. Millie is as confident as.
أيوة. معناها فيها ال is اللي هي is as كذا as adjective as. حتى are مثلا لو ندعو على مجموعة بنقول مثلا مثلا نتكلم عليكم كطلبة pre-intermediate. I'll say the pre-intermediate students لأن عندي plural هنا جماعة. بنقول the pre-intermediate students are as friendly as the elementary students مثلا. Let me write this example. So the pre-intermediate students are as friendly as the elementary students. Can you see this example?
Yes.
So this means the level of friendliness is the same. Do you get the idea? Same level. درجة الودودية أو الصحوبية مثلا. Do you get the idea? فهذه فكرة قاعدة not as كذا as. All right. Let me see if we have any other tips ملاحظات ثانية to talk about بخصوص الموضوع هذا. Now the superlatives مش درسنا. Okay, so I think we can go back. Okay, so let's go back. I think maybe, don't know if we can finish the exercise in time, but maybe we can do one exercise. Let me take a look. Okay, let's leave the listening for next time. Let's do this. This is our last exercise. Can you see this? We're going to talk about this family, Keith Bradley. Okay, can you see this picture, the family? So we have two boys, the father and the mother, right? So I want you to take a few minutes, and when you finish all of them, just let me know, okay? And here, let me show you what the question wants. خلينا نرجع للسؤال أول شيء باش نعرف وش المطلوب. Question number 7. Do you think it's easier? Complete the article with the adjective or its comparative form. معناها عندنا اليوم خيارين. So we either write the adjective معناها لو جتنا اللي هي صيغة as adjective اللي هي as adjective as حنكتبوا الادجكتيف مش حنكتبوا الكومباراتيف. لكن في الأمثلة الثانية مرات نحتاجوا اللي هو الكومباراتيف سواء بالمور أو بالإي آر أو على حسب. Okay, do you get the idea? Is it clear?
Clear.
Rashid, Salma, do you get the idea?
Yeah.
Okay, معناها حنطبقوا كل اللي كنا نقولوا عليه الكومباراتيف سواء الأول اللي قريناه في الإليمنتري القديم أو سواء صيغة جديدة الاثنين حنستعملوه. So when you finish, just tell me and we can check the answers.
Finish.
You finished? Okay, good.
Finish.
Okay, Sophia also finished. What about you, Salman Rashid?
I finished.
Okay. Okay, so let's check your answers. So let's divide it, okay, into 4 groups. Okay, so okay. I don't think we can divide it into 2 groups, but maybe we can do it into 3, maybe 3 groups. Okay, here, I have a better idea. I think this is okay. All right, so Sophia, you can start first. You can start first, Sophia.
We've got 2 boys.
Okay.
Carl is 8 and Bobby is 16. Bobby is a lot more sensible than his brother. So I think teenagers are much easier.
Okay, continue. I'll write your answer. Much easier.
To live with than
Live, you mean?
Huh?
To live with.
To live with than young children. Bobby is more helpful and isn't as selfish as Carl.
All right.
More helpful.
Okay, so these are your answer. He isn't as selfish
Carl.
Carl. Nice. Okay. Manan, you can finish. Carl.
Carl is definitely less patient than his brother, and he isn't as polite.
Okay, continue.
Than his brother, and he isn't as polite. But I think that just because he's younger.
Okay.
Bobby's as easygoing as Carl.
Okay, and he is
confident than his brother.
And he's
more confident than his brother.
Yeah, I think we need more. Okay, Selma, can you do the rest?
Teacher, I don't get the numbers. I don't understand
Number 6. Okay, but let us finish all the answers and I'll talk about it. But your answer is correct, by the way. It's correct. And I'll tell you why we used it like this. Selma, can you continue?
Okay. But Carol's a bit bright than Bobby.
Bright? Just bright?
More bright.
More bright or bright? Or brighter? Or more brighter?
Brighter.
With more or without more?
Without more.
Okay.
Than Bobby, and his school reports are always much better. Better.
Perhaps.
Bobby's reports aren't as good as Carl's. Because this day he's interested in girls than his schoolwork.
Okay. Interested?
No, interested.
Interested.
More interested.
Okay. Okay, that's actually correct. Okay, so the good thing is all of the answers are correct. Sorry. So now the answers are correct, all of them. Okay, now your question, why did we use polite? It's correct. What's your question? I don't get your question because your answer is correct. Polite. مظبوطة. What's your question?
He isn't as polite. يعني كأنه الحصانات يعني. كأنه ناقص حسابه إنه لما نقول he isn't as polite as brother مثلا his brother والعادي نقدر نحتك he isn't as polite.
في بعض الأحيان نقدروا نديروها يعني ناقصة. السبب أنه خلاص معروف المقارنة بين مني ومني من البداية هو يقارن بين أولاد الزوز. دي قد idea. يعني من الأول هو يقارن بين بوبي وكارل فوصلنا هنا يعني زي ما تقولي ما احتاجش يكملها he isn't as polite as Carl. لو كملها ما فيش مانع.
عادي يعني نقدر نقول he isn't as والadjective من غير ما نكمل as ببني.
لكن مش ديما هذه مش ديما مثلا في الأخير أو بعد مثلا عدة مقارنات
يكون
كاملة
يكون
في قبلها سياق. أيوة يكون في سياق بحيث المستمع لما يسمعها هذه مش حيكون عنده أي confusion ولا أي سوء فهم. واضح على من يتكلم البو من البداية هو يقارن بين أولاد الزوز. هذا السبب الوحيد ان ما كملوهاش. طبعا للامان احنا كمتعلمين طبعا ديما خيار كملها للاخر على احتياط افضل لك يعني، لكن هذا السبب علاش ما كملهاش. Okay, but the answers are all correct, so that's very good. So you get the idea of how to use adjective as كلكم استعملتوها بشكل صحيح. كنا حاجة واحدة جديدة في الدرس اليوم. So in our next lesson حنزيدوا نكملوا نديروا أمثلة من عندنا نكملوا على الموضوع هذا. We will also take a look at the listening. ناخذ شوية على قصة stress، تشديد في الكلمات في طريقة استعمال القاعدة الجديدة هذه as كذا as، وحتى اللي هي الأولى more selfish than more interested than هنتكلم عليهم. And we can talk about this lesson. So in this lesson we're going to talk about superlatives اللي هم best والmost والbiggest smallest، الموضوع هذا حنتكلم عليه. And we will also talk about relationships, families, weddings. Okay, so this is our topic for next time. So that's all for tonight. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Good night.